We'll dive straight into Bitcoin. What's happening with Bitcoin, huh? Just hide this. SFP, nothing. No trades. Long, short, nothing. All right, so still thinking it's possible to go down for a Wyckoff. Bam. But it obviously hasn't happened yet. And we're getting some higher lows here. It's not bullish just yet. It does look like an accumulation above this previous range, doesn't it? So that's kind of my first thoughts looking at the charts. Whether there is some kind of, there's a previous range here, and maybe we're seeing an accumulation above the previous range, a reaccumulation. And let's have a look at the previous range. Oops, let's just hide that. I'll look at the daily chart, the previous range, this lower range. Oh, where's my toolbar? Where is my toolbar? There it is. Let's have a look. So, yeah, it's come into the previous range point of control, which is this high volume node, a few times. Let's just take the volume underneath this value area. So we're still not there yet. It's kind of, it's come back to the point of control of this previous range and it's finding support. Now that could be quite dangerous because sometimes consolidation over support is bearish. Sometimes it just finds support at a higher level. And so what we're looking for is bullish absorption. We're looking for decreasing we're looking for bullish absorption. We're looking for decreasing pressure, effectively. And sometimes a little bit of pressure can be good as well. But right now, that's what it looks like. It looks like we've, when you look at the charts as a whole, it looks like we had a range here. And then we came into this kind of higher range. And now the price looks like it's trying to somewhat consolidate here. It's like it's going step to step. Big gap here, obviously. It's going, the price is step to step going, so it gets an expansion, take profit, reaccumulation, expansion, reaccumulation. Doesn't mean that this is not bearish, because we've put in some lower prices and you can easily go up for a lower high quite easily, which is what I was talking about last week, about the potential of a head and shoulders pattern here. We won't know how that plays out until the price does expand to the upside and to see what the volume looks like when that happens. I'm going to draw out this volume now as I do. I'm not going to go into crazy depth because I haven't got much time. The value area has kind of slipped down a little bit, as you can see, just a jot. And obviously we haven't hit the point of control of this overall range yet. So that's going to be a big resistance point, and we haven't broken this outer trend line. This inner trend line, which I drew before, it's washed basically. See that? I told you it was washed, so it's kind of irrelevant, but now we're kind of back above it, and so that's actually a good sign. I was saying before that if it was ultra bearish, then after you lose it, you drop, take out the low. We didn't do that. So I wasn't feeling bearish because that didn't happen. And if it was ultra bearish, I think if the bear season had begun, then that would be the next expected price action behavior, and it hasn't happened. Because it hasn't happened, I was feeling more bullish, and then I was kind of contemplating the potential of some kind of accumulation. Now, a Wyckoff accumulation, as I kind of indicated with the schematics, requires an ST in phase B, because if that was the PS, you have the SC, the AR, the ST, higher high, you go all the way down to take out the lows, and they both have it in the schematics. And so I do wonder if that's going to happen still, even though people are feeling bullish. Even though I'm feeling bullish, I do wonder if we do still go down and take out the lows. And so what's happening now is range bound behavior. Ever since we lost that point of control, the price has been in a range. It's at the lower part of the range with the point of control of this local range in the high of this local range. So I think that's quite bearish. Just looking at it now, I mean, I think there's an opportunity for short from the point of control into that trend line. Reaction, swing failure, all the way down to the lows. Reaction first. Wait for the longs to get trapped, and then longs get trapped, and then you have an invalidation, and then you can take it all the way down to lows. And that would still coincide with the long that I have in my mind, lower down. To take out that low. And that's the SFP. Now this one, I think possibly actually just I was looking at the higher level, but now I'm just thinking maybe not. Not sure exactly where. I mean, it could SFP anywhere, but I think the only thing that would change my mind is if we don't get a reaction. And so the price goes up, it breaks that trend line, and it starts to find support from the point of control. And then the point of control flips from resistance to support. You've broken the trend line, and then you're back in the range as well. So there's a lot that would be quite bullish. So if you start seeing that, that's quite bullish for us to take out the highs, reclaim the point of control as support, break that trend line. That'd be really bullish. And then you'd be looking for the price to find support, and then you could long off that. And so you're looking for a higher long. If you started seeing that, it wouldn't be a breakout long because you still wait for the pullback. Really, if you want to see that, you really want to take out that, you really want to hit the point of control and then find support off this lower point of control. You kind of want to see that, and then maybe then we can do something like that. Do you long here? Well, you don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if we're going to go down, or we don't know if this is going to continue grinding up. But what we do know is that it's kind of trying to get into the value area. It's not. We have this local point of control in the way, so that would act as resistance with this trend line and some kind of golden pocket. So yeah, so the best trade would be from the low here. If we get lucky, if you get lucky and you don't take out that low, then you are taking out that low, depending on the absorption, the bullish absorption at those levels. That's Bitcoin, really. That's it. Don't really have much more to say. I'm not going to go into more depth because I don't have time, and I want to look at a couple of other coins. I'll just group these for Friday 26. And then what I'm going to do next week is I'm going to delete all my chart, everything next week, and I'll redo the charts afresh, have a fresh look at everything. So I'm not kind of going to spend more time here. Let me have a look at the monthly time frame, have a look at these candles quickly. Oh, let me just delete that. You kind of want to see a monthly swing failure, don't you? You kind of want to see the previous month low taken. We are seeing decreasing volume on these monthly red candles. You see that? So decreasing prices, decreasing. It's more like consolidation than it is crazy downward pressure. The volume isn't out of the ordinary. We go to the 3-month candle. That's a bearish engulfing. That's pretty bearish on the 3-month time frame. I do expect we go up for a revisit to clear the liquidity. 6-month looks quite bearish too. And the 12-month looks quite bearish too. At the moment, it looks quite bearish. There's quite a lot of higher time frame bearish candles. Doesn't mean we don't go up. Doesn't mean for a drop down to this low here at 40.47 next year sometime before we pump, rally, and take out, end at 200, 250 by the end of the year. And that would be amazing, wouldn't it? It would be amazing if we went up, reversed, dropped, took out these lows, whatever, and then pumped. Wouldn't it? That would be really amazing. Just have a look at that. Yeah, that's kind of what you're looking at. Which channel do you take? Tricky, huh? So look at that one. Yeah, that's the one. How nice that channel is. And so really, there's a few channels here, but that's the one, that midpoint. Whatever happens, if we do get a drop next year, that will be the target. But realistically, that low there, that pivot low there, for next year. You have this big point of control slightly higher at 57k. So we're actually outside of the value area, and we may just put in a higher low, and that's always what could happen. You could always put a higher low and not take out that pivot like that, and then go up like that instead of a bigger drop. No one knows. No one can predict that. I kind of think maybe we get a bullish first few months, take out the liquidity from the highs, go down, find support. Probably for next year, bear market has begun, and then we get a pump towards the end of 2026 type thing. At the moment, that's where my mind is at. People are saying it's bearish next year. I don't think it's bearish next year. It's a gut feeling. Yeah, and you know, I can always be wrong. None of this is financial advice, but I've been seeing a lot of wealthy people follow the horoscopes. Did you know that? And for 2026, I see a lot of positive things for finances and money. A lot of the big players use the horoscopes. I mean, 2025 was the year of the snake. It was the year of shedding. 2026 is the year of the horse. It's a fire horse. And let me just kind of find the link that I was looking at. Just finding it now. I mean, horoscopes. I mean, who knows? "2026 is the money year many of us have been preparing for without even realizing it." See that? In numerology, 2026 adds up to 1, the number of beginnings, boldness, and unfiltered potential. Da-di-da-di-da. And I was looking at this and it's like, shit, all the signs are saying money, 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 money. Yeah. So it's on my mind. A lot of people follow the horoscopes. See, the markets are really about psychology. And when people are feeling bullish and feeling kind of like it's going to be a prosperity, then they're probably going to try and risk some things, try some more risky things. The other thing that I was looking at, which was quite interesting, I'm going to show you now. Where is it? Obviously, I have to find it. Is this real estate cycle? And so this is a real estate cycle, and it peaks here. See, it peaks at 2026. See that? And in the same way, it peaked to 2019 or 1999 there, or 2007. Who knows? But a lot of people kind of go by this. They buy, they sell, they buy, they sell. They don't get it 100% right, but they go with the cycles of the markets. See, years of hard times, low prices, and good time to buy stocks, goods, etc. Hold until the boom reaches the years of good times, then unload. Sure thing. Save this card and watch closely. And there's this one, the real estate cycle. So I don't know. I don't really know. Who knows? But it's food for thought. So you've got a lot of kind of positive things that are looking on the horizon. I think it's also possible that you get a head and shoulders pattern fake out, which I've talked about, where you've got like a rising neckline here, get head and shoulders pattern, and then bounce, and then and that's probably what I would expect if that was to happen. If we get a big head and shoulders with a fake out of the neckline, this pattern is an extremely bullish pattern. Yeah, and even though people be bearish because it's like lower highs, lower lows, if you break a neckline of a head and shoulders and then reclaim the neckline, then that is ultra bearish. It's ultra bullish. It's ultra bullish because you've invalidated a massive higher time frame bearish pattern, and then you can longer it with an invalidation of, because you don't expect the lows to be taken again, and then you'd be looking for a mega breakout. Yeah, so it's on my mind. I'm kind of thinking about some kind of head and shoulders fake out, assuming that we go down and we form a head and shoulders pattern here with a lower high. We have to see what happens. I would expect, if that was to play out, I would expect we get a kind of crazy rush towards the end of the year, end of 2026, rather than the summer months. Anyway, it's food for thought. It's just on my mind. So we'll see what happens. Otherwise, it is bearish. We do a head and shoulders pattern, we go down, and then we're just in bear season until we kind of hit this midpoint, which be the next reaccumulation zone, filling all these gaps in some kind of bear market to go back up, effectively. It could take a while. That's Bitcoin, and I'll quickly have a look at a few other things now, very quickly. Yeah, look, DXY looks bearish, doesn't it? DXY looks bearish. Yeah, it's looking bearish. The whole thing looks bearish. Bearish engulfing on the yearly time frame on this big reversal. So that kind of makes you think we're going down on the DXY, which is good for assets, stocks, etc. Let's have a look at some other things without getting rid of all my chart stuff. Let's have a look at Ether. No. Wow. You'd expect some kind of pullback, huh? If the year ended like that. SPX, you'd expect some kind of pullback. Forget the lines. I can hide all the lines. Delete them, actually. Don't need them. You'd expect some kind of pullback. You don't just expect it to go up. So maybe we get a pullback in January and then we can keep on going. Who knows? Let's see. RTX looks better. Russell 2000 looks better. Let's have a look at Bitcoin dominance while we're here. So you've got this kind of, we're at the top of this triangle, aren't we? A little bit. Bearish engulfing on that 3-month time frame, went up, cleared liquidity. Yeah, it's kind of looking like a reversal here, isn't it? So I do think we're probably going down on Bitcoin dominance in the next few months. And maybe we'll come down to the golden pocket there. First few months. And food for thought. Let's have a look at ETH, BTC quickly. I can find it. Get rid of all this stuff. I'm going to reset my charts next week, so you'll be pleased to know about that. See how the year ends, but actually I don't mind that candle if we get a swing, if we get an SFP of the previous year low like that. If that closes like that, I'd really think that next year will be a really nice altcoin year. If we end up with this kind of candle with a close above the previous year low, I think that's really bullish. Decreasing volume, yeah, I like that. That would be really nice for a nice green, at least. Yeah, a green year, well, at least a rise, but probably a green year. So ETH against BTC is looking quite good right now. And that one, look at that, that's a piercing candle. That's a really bullish reversal candle forming on ETH BTC in the last 6 months, because it's effectively it's closing above the body, 50% above the previous candle body. Yep, easily above 50%. And so 3 months. Yeah, this is looking quite good, actually. Do the volume. We're closing above the point of control. That's like a 3-month candle back test of the point of control. That's a really nice recovery, isn't it? On ETH BTC. So maybe we will get an alt season in the next 3 months. First year of 2006. First part of 2006. All right. That's my Bitcoin update. I'm not going to go on longer than that. I'll quickly move on.